The goals like podium every round, we've done that. Qualified top 3 every round, we've done that. You know, the car's definitely faster than it's ever been, and kind of different focus to what it was last year. Got a different mindset.
As I said at the start, you need the car to do the whole season to have a shot at the championship. You know, we're here to win. Definitely got the grip and the grunt, so hopefully we can get a good result. I think something just clicks and you forget everything and you just drive hard.
The game starts now.
Yes, it's round 6 of the Cody's D1NZ National Drifting Championship, the grand final here at Mount Smart Stadium, brought to you by NAC Insurance. And tonight we crown a new New Zealand Drift King. But first, for one final time, let's check out the championship leaderboard.
So after the drama at round 5 in Christchurch, Gaz Whiter takes a 30-point lead ahead of Mad Mike Whittett, which puts the pressure on the Red Bull team to qualify high and grab a podium spot. The championship truly down to the wire, with Kurt Whittaker a dark horse for second place, with Redwood and Woolhouse in with a chance for third.
I'm just in the mindset of pretend I'm not in front on points and just go for the win as we always do, you know. Push hard and anything can happen, you know. If Mike takes it out, he deserves it, you know. He's been pushing for years. But for us, we'll deserve it as well, you know. We've put in a lot of hard work this year to get the car sorted, and you know, hopefully it goes well.
Man, it's all on. I want it so bad. I want it much more than Gaz. He already knows what it feels like. He's had it 3 times. It's my turn. So yeah, we're going to be driving hard. Fingers crossed the car holds together, and man, I'm going to be pushing freaking hard tonight, man.
Well, Mount Smart Stadium, normally a home to the Warriors Rugby League team, but over the 23rd and 24th of May it played host to the Cody's D1NZ Grand Final, the 3rd concrete line course of the season, providing plenty of action. Fans turned out in their thousands to see their favourite drivers compete in the final round of the 2014 season. Sitting 3rd in the points table, Autoshore's Kurt Whittaker was looking forward to a big weekend.
Oh, it is, man. Middle of Auckland City, and you know, people have come from all around the city and all around the country to see this grand final. It's a pretty technical little track. It's going to really be awesome for the crowd. Nice close battles, heaps of smoke, real good atmosphere. You know, I'm really pumped for it.
The former champion took victory at the last Mount Smart event in 2012. Whittaker looking forward to driving under lights once again.
You know, the crowd love it. It puts another factor on the driving. You know, you're not only worried about the concrete walls, the surface, the other competitors. You've also got to worry about the light and what you can and can't see. So, hey, it's all on tonight, and you know, bring it on. It's going to be a real tight championship.
The new Mount Smart course features wide concrete line clipping points before tightening up into an inside clip. A tight hairpin switch would be one of the hardest parts of the course before putting the power down to exit out wide back on the walls.
They've changed the track up quite a bit this year. It's a pretty high-speed entry, but then it tightens right up, and there's no real places to catch up ground. So if you get left behind from the entry, you're pretty much going to stay behind. So the main key here is just to stay on someone's door straight from the beginning and keep it that way. There's only one switch in the whole course, so you got to stay on the door that whole time, switch, get right back on that door again.
With drivers hitting more than 110 kilometres an hour on turn 1, the midsection of the drift course slows right down to a tight and technical switch, with some drivers struggling to navigate the slowest part of the section.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you really got to throw the car quite wide so it actually sits out for you so you can get onto the gas early instead of trying to actually drift around that corner. So
That's a little bit technical, which is good, you know. We've got to mix it up. We can't make it too flowing, which, you know, it is coming through. It's right on the gas, running the walls, but the crowd's going to love it, man. It's good.
Leading the championship after back-to-back victories, Gaz Whiter looked to be in strong form during practice. Being the only other driver to have a round win at Mount Smart, the Tekteloi back driver was looking forward to battling on the new track layout.
Yeah, this track's good, you know, it's got a nice smooth run up. They've retar sealed the entry, which makes it far more predictable, you know, there's no bumps. You can get your car set up real well and just run that wall, you know, it's a nice flat wall, so it's not as daunting as Tauranga where you're flying straight at the wall. But, you know, concrete's concrete, if you hit it, the car's gonna come off second best, so we try and keep it off the wall and, you know, just push as much as we have to and try and get the result we've been looking for.
Another driver looking strong during practice was young Nico Reid in the RB-powered Luxury Sports S15, the former Pro-Am champion feeling right at home amongst the concrete walls.
Yeah, it's quite a technical track, even though it looks quite easy, but yeah, I'm loving this track here. I love concrete. Yeah, car's going good so far. Practice yesterday, been out there. Things sort of got us sorted. Should be in the top 8, hopefully for qualifying. So yeah, we'll see.
With rain causing havoc to the Pro-Am Development Series on day 1, most teams had their eyes skyward on the weather for day 2. Rattler Motorsports' Shane Allen and Shane Van Gisbergen making the most of a drying track before qualifying.
Yeah, well, it was really slippery this morning, and yeah, there's no traction there at all. So hopefully it stays dry and we'll be all good.
The first part of the track is really nice, new seal, but when it's wet, there's nowhere for the water to go, and it's just like ice. And so many people have just slid straight into the wall, including our car. But you know, you got to make it work. You got to drive to the conditions, as the saying. So just try and turn the tyres on and make the grip.
Having led the championship for most of the season, Red Bull's Mad Mike Whittett was under pressure to perform at Mount Smart. Sitting just 30 points off Gaz Whiter, the Mad Bull RX-7 was setting blistering laps throughout practice. While some drivers found the course easier to drive than others, Mad Mike was twice as busy behind the wheel of the 4-rotor, changing gears throughout much of the course to stay on power.
Yeah, a lot of gear changes. The rotary, man, we're doing, you know, when Redwood here stays in 3rd gear the whole time. Gaz was saying he can do the whole track in 3rd gear, where I'm doing probably 10, 11 gear changes through the whole section. It's ridiculous.
As they say, it's always carnage in the concrete jungles, and Mount Smart didn't fail to produce plenty of smashed fiberglass. Team D1NZ's Drew Donovan had his fair share of damage in the Milwaukee S15, while Jody Verhulst had a big hit with the wall during qualifying. Outgoing champion Fanga Dan was another driver having a tough day in the office, the Castrol Edge Commodore suffering a blown gearbox on the first lap of practice.
Going into yesterday, first lap was not a good start and blew a gearbox, so we spent all day yesterday running around trying to find parts and get it all up and running. So I think it was about 1 o'clock this morning before we had dinner, and the car was prepped ready to go this morning, and so we got here first thing and set it up for how the day's looking, and bring on the battles, man, bring on qualifying. I'm amping. I've been out for 2 sessions and it's on.
With clear skies for qualifying, Fangadan was slotted to 10th place. Achilles Radial's Bruce Tannock taking 9th in the Rocket Bunny S13. Counting down the order, Kurt Whittaker took 8th place, just 1 point behind V Energy's Cole Armstrong in 7th. Shane Van Gisbergen went a point higher to take 6th in the BOC Race Stuff Falcon. Shaping up to be one of the closest qualifying sessions of the season, Gaz Whiter would slot into 5th place with a 90.5, Andrew Redwood taking a close 4th in the Achilles FC RX-7. The championship title race took a dramatic turn with Mad Mike Whittett spinning out on his first pass in qualifying. A broken axle would turn the pressure on the Red Bull team in pit lane. In the end, Mad Mike would return to the grid just in time to set a committed 91-point qualifying pass, good enough for third place. Topping the sheets though was Nico Reid, continuing his solid practice form to a 91.5, taking second place in the Luxury Sports S15. In the end, pole position went to D1NZ Templeman in the NAC RX-7. With a fresh new livery, the 800 horsepower 2JZ monster would power through the section like a hot knife through butter. D1NZ setting a 96-point pass, the highest qualifying score in D1NZ history.
Yeah, 96, not bad. Yeah, I don't think I could have done any better. I sort of pretty committed myself to the entry, and yeah, I don't know how I pulled that off. So pretty happy, really excited. It finally feels like we got a package that's reliable and very drivable. So yeah, that was the easy part qualifying. Now it's the hard part, and it's battling because you know the sport of drifting can change. You know, you only have to cock yourself up behind a slower car and it's game over. But hey, what a great way to end the championship with you know, being so close between the top three contenders. It's just fantastic.
So D1NZ Templeman makes history as top qualifier for the D1NZ Grand Final at Mount Smart. Nico Reid takes second ahead of Mad Mike, who takes a small bite out of Gaz Whitta's points lead. Andrew Redwood takes fourth ahead of Whitta. Van Gisbergen, Armstrong and Whittaker, Bruce Tannock and Fangadan round out the top 10. Don't go away, after the break it's highlights of the final top 32. You're watching highlights of the Cody's D1NZ Championship Series, the grand final from Mount Smart Stadium, kicking off the top 32 with Sky Zhao taking a win over Adam Hedges. There was plenty of door-to-door action at the grand final, and Joe Kukatai was a crowd favourite, taking a win over Jake Hakarai in the Nixon Tyres C35. With mechanical dramas in the Club Auto R33 Skyline, Zach Pole took to the wheel of Ben Wilkinson's Pro-Am S13, taking a win over Kyle Jackaways, who straight-lined at the hairpin. Chris Jackson took a winning lead run over Drew Donovan in the 32, the Milwaukee S15 diving off track, taking a shortcut through the switch. Despite her car being battered and bruised, Jody Verhoff still managed to line up against Fangadan in the battles, but with Jody straight-lining on entry, the advantage was handed to Fangadan, who sat back with a win in the Castrol Edge Commodore. The big hit of the battles went to Dave Steedman in the Mimico S14, straight-lining in the lead while Shane Allen had nowhere to go. The last of the 32 would see a damaged Burger Fuel 350Z take on the Thirsty Liquor R34, Darren Kelly taking a winning lead pass with Brad Smith left behind. Into the top 16, it was Sky Zhao turning heads with an aggressive chase run in the 2 degrees 350Z, but Dainham Templeman would stand his ground in the NAC RX7, with Sky Zhao making too many corrections, even hitting Dainham on the hairpin. Kurt Whitaker and Bruce Tannock paired off in the 16 with the Achilles Radial S13 looking strong in the lead until Tannock made contact with the tyres at the switch, Whitaker dodging the cones to take a win. Andrew Redwood had his fair share of cone carnage as he shot off the track in his battle with Joe Kukatai. In the end, the judges ruled Kukatai was to blame for hitting the back of the Achilles FC RX7 on the run-up. Redwood through to the top 8. Gaz Whiter put on a textbook chase in his top 16 matchup with Zach Pole. Despite being in a borrowed car, he put on a good drive in the Pack and Save S13, but it wasn't enough to fend off a hard-charging Tictaloy Sylvia. Cole Armstrong put on a big lead run against Fangadan in the Castrol Edge Commodore, the V-Energy Skyline pulling away with a dominating gap until it all fell apart at the end of the section, Armstrong blowing his engine, Fangadan through to the top 8. Darren Kelly led out from Shane Van Gisbergen in a battle of RB vs V8. The Thirsty Liquor R34 standing its ground against a solid chase from the Rattler Falcon, but with Shane straightlining the hairpin, the battle would see Kelly take the win. The Best Style Award for the night had to go to Nico Reed in the Luxury Sports S15. Going OMT with Chris Jackson, Nico hit the wall hard, taking out his left rear tyre. The former Pro-Am champion putting his foot down and finishing the section with just one rear wheel. The biggest battle of the night would see Mad Mike take on Shane Allen in the BOC Race Stuff Falcon. With a championship on the line, Mad Mike was under pressure. Shane Allen was chasing with nothing to lose. With Shane's bumper nudging the tyres on the hairpin, it was only a small advantage to Mad Mike on the first pass. There was tension in the air as the Rattler Falcon stood its ground against the hard-charging Mad Bull RX7. In the end, Mad Mike's championship hopes would disappear in a matter of seconds as he straightlined the hairpin, and with another correction it was game over for the Red Bull RX7, Shane Allen powering away with a massive upset victory into the top 8. With Mad Mike out of the picture, it was a clear road ahead for Gaz Whiter, keeping a clean run against Andrew Redwood. The Achilles FC RX7 would take a spin, Gaz Whiter with an easy run into the top 4. Dainham Templeman also kept a clean run in his top 8 battle against Kurt Whitaker. With the Autosure R34 making a correction on entry, it was Dainham keeping things online and on track, taking a win in the 2JZ powered RX7. The easy runs in the top 8 still continued with Fangadan taking a clean run over Chris Jackson in the Surfab S14, Jackson taking a shallow line and making big mistakes in the chase, the Castrol Edge Commodore progressing through with a win. last lap of the top 8 would see Darren Kelly take on the Rattler Falcon once again. This time Shane Allen behind the wheel as the Thirsty Liquor R34 grabbed the win. Shane Allen straight lining at the hairpin. Heading into the finals, it was Gaz Whiter looking to seal the deal on the championship title, giving chase to Danum Templeman in the NAC RX7, but it all fell away for Whiter at the switch. The Tectaloy S14 spinning out, Danum through to the final. In his first ever top 4, Darren Kelly would meet Fanga Dan once again in a battle of outgoing champions. Last year's Pro-Am winner taking on the defending champion for the 3rd time this season. The Thirsty Liquor R34 putting on a fantastic chase. In the second pass, Fanga Dan would swap paint on the entry. Darren Kelly doing his best to fend off the Castrol Edge Commodore. The RB-powered Thirsty Liquor R34 opening a gap through the midsection. Darren Kelly drifting on through to his first ever Pro Final. This would see a Team Drift Corp battle for 3rd place. Fanga Dan giving chase to Gaz Whiter in the Tectaloy S14, and with the 2014 title now well secured, it was Gaz Whiter grabbing the win with a hard charge to his 5th podium for the season. The final battle of the 2014 Championship Series would have thousands of fans light up the grandstands as Darren Kelly's RB Nissan Skyline took on Danum Templeman's Toyota 2JZ powered RX7, Danum taking the advantage in the lead. The last lap of the season saw Kelly doing his best to fend off a hard-charging NAC RX7, Danum Templeman sticking a close chase to the former Pro-Am champion. In the end, Kelly couldn't force a mistake on the former circuit racer. Danum Templeman keeping a clean pair of heels to secure his 2nd ever pole-to-round win victory. So Danum Templeman takes his first round victory in more than 2 years. His last time was in Taupo in 2011, where he also took pole position, a fantastic drive behind the wheel of the NAC RX7. And what about Darren Kelly, his first ever season in the pro class, taking his debut podium ahead of Gaz Whiter, who secures his 5th podium for the year and seals the deal on the 2014 Championship Series.
Absolutely. Highlight of the weekend would definitely be this event for us. To qualify first with the highest score ever in D1 history and to take the round out. Yeah, really, really pleased. Thanks to NAC, thanks to all my boys, you know, Brendan and Roscoe and Mum and Dad and everyone else that's believed in us. It's nice to repay them with, you know, a pretty successful weekend for us. It's nice, definitely heading up to Japan to Formula D. Definitely gives us some good momentum and also will give us some good momentum over the winter and the lead up to D1NZ next year, so really happy.
And there we see the final championship points of the season, and Gaz Whiter has made history here tonight. The D1NZ legend has won the 2014 Championship Series and taken his 4th championship victory. Mad Mike falling short in the points chase, an absolute dramatic end to a hard-fought championship campaign.
Yeah, it feels unreal at the moment, hasn't sunk in at all. It's so hard to put a season together, you know. the cost, the travel, their team, to get it all to work to win is a big deal, you know. And you saw what it meant to the drivers on the podium. Everyone tries real hard, you know. It's to do it 4 times is it hasn't sunk in. And to do it, you know, we built this car in a Dargaville shed, and the boys and, you know, Tony especially just give up so much time and effort putting this thing together so we can have fun, and we get to celebrate like this now. So yeah, pretty stoked. We'll have a beer tonight for sure.
So Gaz White, the legend of New Zealand drifting, takes his 4th D1NZ championship title. It's been a fantastic season, thousands of tyres, hundreds of battles, 6 rounds across the country, but only one Drift King. We hope you've enjoyed the season highlights here on Oversteer TV. We'll be back with more high-octane motorsport action. Don't miss a moment right here on oversteertv.co.nz.